just like killed the whole momentum.
Imagine if they did that like the on the first the shuttle launch. Like 3, 2,
Two, one.
1.
Oh shit, we didn't turn the key all the way.
I gotta confirm.
Windows needs to reboot.
Who turned this shit on?
Alrighty. Hey everybody. Welcome. This is the oh god, it's like real now, man.
This is real.
It's alive.
You're in the shit now.
This is the inaugural first stream. Hey, Copy, what's up? This is the first stream episode of the Barely Literate Book Club.
Barely Literate.
Book and Movie Club. I forgot about that.
Book and Movie Club, yeah.
Book and Movie. As you can see, I added the little the badge right next to my bear on my stream, actually.
You did? Let me check that out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's sexy.
It's cool. It's sexy.
So, for the first episode, I just want to give a bit of a background as to why we're doing this. And that's because Nick, aka Gooby Booby, Gooberino 16, Macho, all that. Nick and I kind of got into like, what?
We decided to watch the Lord of the Rings movies when I came down to visit last time.
Like, we just like, you know what? Let's binge them all.
Yeah, all in one weekend, and then we were like, but we were watching like the Two Towers, and we were like, should we buy The Hobbit and start reading the book?
And then, well, the thing is that I haven't read a book in probably like 10 years.
Oh yes, I got a little bit into this Dungeons and Dragons book on the plane, but I lost it.
Yeah,
no, I didn't.
And
I lost this other one.
Jesus, that's me with sunglasses. I lose sunglasses all. Dude, I stopped buying nice ones and just start buying the shit ones from Walmart that are $5.
Yeah, I get the ones from Drug Mart, like
Yeah.
a little baby.
Oh my god. So basically, we were just like, let's read The Hobbit together. That's gonna be our New Year's resolution. I can barely read. It takes me like, I've been reading the same book since 2013, The Shining. I'm still on like chapter 4. All
Alright, all fairness though, like the Stephen King family, their writing is just weird.
It
I was
is.
listening to their son's audiobook once, and I was just like, I can't get this.
I don't, and he doesn't write under his King name apparently, which is weird. Anyway, so we decided New Year's resolution, we're gonna start reading The Hobbit, and then we were like, should we review it and start like a book club? And kind of that's where we are. that's where we landed. We were like, should we do a book club? Yeah, let's do a book club. It'll just be the two of us. And then we were like, should we stream review it? And then it grew. It grew from that. And now we're here. We have a logo that I made in the car.
Yeah. And then we were like, oh yeah, well, it was like while we were watching the movie when we came up with the idea to like play Return to Moria, because we wanted to play more
Yeah.
of it. Moria of it. And then
Jesus.
and then I was like, dude, it'd be such a good idea if we played the game while talking about The Hobbit.
Yeah, and then we were just like, let's flesh it out a bit more. So that's kind of like what we're gonna do. Oh, hey, you're here. There's Doggy. Hey.
My game's like absolute dog shit right now.
So yeah, that's where we are. And basically, just to give a brief like sort of background of what we want to do. For each week, we're going to read 2 chapters of The Hobbit individually. And then for the stream, which will be, if you haven't seen the Instagram posting yet on our new shared page, it'll be a stream review every Monday at 9 p.m. EST. Where subject to change, you know, because we're busy or lazy, mostly busy. Yeah, asterisk. Star.
I learned what an asterisk was while reading the book, okay?
Did you actually?
No, not, I'm just fucking around.
Dude, my dad hates when my sister and I call it star, and he goes, "It's an asterisk," and I'm like, "Well, stop being an asterisk and just write." Anyway,
It's a star.
so we're gonna go through the 2 chapters that we read. One of us will read one, not read one. One of us will give a summary of the first chapter, and then the other will give a summary of the next chapter. And during our reading, we decided to take notes of things that we thought about during each chapter. So once the summary is read, then we'll go back and forth on our notes and discussions, and that's basically it. And then during the stream, we'll play some Return to Moria to get even more in the mood, because dwarves are the fucking best race.
Let's start with a little trivia.
Okay.
Not trivia, but how Chris, how many books have you read in your entire life?
Do you think I know the answer to that?
Rough number.
Okay, I've read the entire Percy Jackson series of the original series, not like the newer ones. So I think that was 5 books. Okay. And then All the Lovely Bad Ones, which is low-key my favorite book. I've read maybe 4 of the Diary of the Wimpy Kids, so that's 10 books.
There was only 4 by the time we graduated high school.
There are 20 now.
And
He's running out of colors. Dude, each book is a different color. He's running out of colors. Oh my god. Okay.
So nine books total there.
10. Because 5 Percy Jackson, All Lovely, and 4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then does the 9/11 book count?
That counts.
Okay, so 11. I had to read that for school.
Which one is the All the Lovely Bad One?
That's the ghost story that I wanted you to read. That's really good.
You know what? I was thinking of this movie that I watched that I hated. It was a vampire movie made in the Netherlands, I think. And it was called Let the
Right One In.
Let the Right One In.
That's a vampire movie?
It's a vampire movie, and I hated it because first, it was very pedophilic.
Really? Oh no! By the way, I made you some mushroom stew because I was apparently starving.
I'm wondering why my game is so it's rendered like we're playing RuneScape, old school.
Oh no! Actually, there's kind of a charm to that.
There is,
but
it's kind of like Valheim a little bit.
Yeah. So okay. So and here's the thing. And then school books. I'd say a few each year because I was required. But yeah, I'd say max 20.
Okay.
All the way through. That was hot. I felt the heat. There's a bear trapped right here.
I've physically read the first 5 Harry Potter books.
I didn't get through the first sentence of the first book.
Really?
I said on Privet Drive, and I'm like, that's private, and I closed the book.
I read the first 5 in 5th and 6th grade, and that was when they were doing the AR testing. Do you remember that?
The AR testing?
Yeah, accelerated reading, or was that an inner cities thing?
I didn't inner cities. I never had AR testing.
Oh, fuck! You're fighting bear. Okay. Yeah, we had something called AR testing, where you read a book and then you did you took a test on a computer about the book.
Okay.
And it kind of graded how much you comprehended about it and stuff. So
okay.
I remember I took the test after reading Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
And I'd never had to take an AR test again because
you failed or you passed?
No, it put me at a high school reading level. in
Oh,
6th grade.
okay, cool. That's like when I tested out of Spanish because I couldn't speak Spanish.
So yeah, I read the first 5, and then I read the rest. You can't see it. I'm doing air quotes. I read the rest. I did audiobooks recently.
I can't do audiobooks.
But I like them. I drive a lot.
Well, I prefer it when I drive, but I don't drive that much.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like I read the rest in audiobook form, and then there's more books that I've read, air quotes, an audiobook. So I would say around 20 as well.
Yeah, about that much.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, anywho, we're here
Back
to talk about The Hobbit. The first book that we have both read respectively in about a decade. We'll get to the initial thoughts of what we both think so far, and then Nick, Macho, Gooby Booby, is going to take it away with a summary of Chapter 1, An Unexpected Party.
Okay, full transparency here.
Okay.
This is to the audience. I'm reading this off a screen right now.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm really gonna be showing why the title of our, or the name of our little or like
book club.
The name of our show, book club, is is relevant.
Well, so before you start, flat out, what do you think so far of like your first book back? I guess.
I like it. Low key, I don't know how to explain it. It kind of reads like Tolkien has ADHD when he's writing this book. Like I feel like the editor was like, "Hey, you have a lot of extra. You're going off on tangents. Shorten it down."
So like us.
Yeah.
I get that. I definitely. Well, that's the thing. Certain authors have certain styles, and
right.
Yeah, I guess that's it. But
like, it reads really whimsically, though. I like it.
I guess that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just when the whimsicality of it all. I don't think that's a word.
The whimsicality. We'll make it a word.
I'm coining it. I'm putting the little badge on there. All right, man.
Oh wait.
What
badge? I gotta look at the.
Oh yeah, look at it.
Ah yeah, I see. It's like Oprah's book club.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Stupid. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, take it away.
All right, let me read the summary for Chapter 1. All right, the story begins in the cozy hobbit hole of Bilbo Baggins, a respectable and unadventurous hobbit who lives in the Shire. Bilbo is
We're already at it.
Yep. Bilbo is content with his quiet life until one day Gandalf, the asshole, a wandering wizard, shows up at his door. Gandalf mentions an adventure, but Bilbo is uninterested and tries to politely dismiss him. Now, shows up the unexpected guest. The next day, much to Bilbo's surprise and dismay, a group of 13 dwarves begin to arrive at his home. One by one, they are Balin, Dwalin, Keely, Feely, Dory, Nori, Ori, Oin, Gloin, Biffer, Bofer, and Bumper, and their leader, Thorin Oakenshield. Badass name.
Damn!
I love the names of the dwarves.
Dude, I was making a dwarf character in Baldur's Gate, and I didn't want it to sound like too Tolkien-y, but everything it was giving me was Tolkien-y. Yeah. It was like, yo, you should be Thorin. And I'm like, I'm reading the page, it's in there.
I love that. You can tell they're related because their name is just like a letter off.
Yeah. Oin, Gloin, Bofum, Ofum, Worfum.
They make themselves comfortable eating and drinking while Bilbo is flustered by their unexpected presence. During the evening, the purpose of the gathering is revealed. The dwarves, led by Thorin, plan to reclaim their ancestral treasure, guarded by the dragon Smaug. In the lonely mountain, Gandalf. I get fucked up by punctuations.
Oh, really?
It messes up my flow.
Messes up my flow.
Gandalf has chosen Bilbo to be the burglar of the quest, though Bilbo feels entirely unsuited for such an adventure. He's right.
Yeah, he's factual.
Gandalf produces a map of the mountain and key to a secret door, which he gives to Thorin. He explains how the dragon has taken over the lonely mountain and hoarded the treasure there. Thorin shares the dwarves' deep desire to reclaim their homeland and restore their honor. While the dwarves sing songs of their lost kingdom and treasure, Bilbo is overwhelmed by conflicting emotions. Part of him is drawn to the idea of adventure, but his practical and timid nature resists. Ultimately, Bilbo is left anxious and unsure about the journey ahead. So this chapter sets up the tone of the book and introduces key characters, particularly Bilbo, Gandalf, Thorin, and the dwarves. While establishing a central quest to reclaim the treasure from Smaug, it also hints to Bilbo's potential for growth and adventure, despite his initial reluctance. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was flowing at the end there. I was like, wom, 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 like a narrator.
my only thing is that you were definitely reading.
Oh, I was definitely reading.
I was just like, is he gonna put any emotion into it?
Yeah, no, dude. I had that. That's how my audition went. No wonder I didn't get a call back.
You didn't?
No.
Oh man.
Okay,
Alrighty.
yeah, so that's chapter 1
So,
in the summary.
just a brief summary, you know.
Brief summary.
I want to hear some of the notes. We'll do the back and forth. You know how it goes. Your first note. What did you, oh well, we also had the pre-chapter too. I wrote a note in the pre-chapter. Did you?
I didn't. Go for it.
So, my first thing is dwarfs versus dwarves. All right, they they specifically like have a thing in the pre-chapter or the premise, not premise, whatever it's called, the prologue, preface. They specifically have a thing in there to state dwarfs versus dwarves, and I'm just like, so what? And I looked it up, and the actual plural of the word dwarf says dwarves, not dwarfs. So do you think Tolkien was wrong to put this in, or is this like a weird old English or English to American like bad translation?
I'm thinking maybe things changed in the time, because remember, this was written in like 1937, I think.
Okay.
So in that time, maybe like the words changed up a bit, and he felt like let's say he made the edit in like 70s or 80s.
Okay.
He's like, I should put a preface in there, to like kind of preface the difference.
So this just popped in my head. Do you think it was also to try to make a difference of real world dwarves, and like fantasy dwarves?
I think so.
Interesting. To like try to say like there are two different, because just from looks, they are two different like types of dwarves.
Yeah.
So
I'll say like real life dwarves are more like gnomes, because they're not broad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like fantasy dwarves are like freaking barrel chested, like
God, the day you go on the street and see a dwarf in real life and you call him a fucking gnome is the day your nuts are getting cut with hedge clippers.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm not gonna fuck with I'm not gonna fuck with little people at all, because I've seen the micro wrestling.
Oh my god.
They could whoop my ass. Okay, but
they got low center of gravity and can fly.
Yeah, they're gonna take my knees out, and I got bad knees.
So yeah, that's the only thing that I had for the preface was just like, hey, why even put that in? Because like I was already thinking, now I'm confused. Which one is it in the book?
Dwarves with a V.
That's what I think. That's what I like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then what the fuck?
I like it.
All right. So first one, go for it. Your first chat. Are you eating the twigs?
I'm eating my twigs.
Nah, it looks like a shit log.
My first chunk of notes is literally just mapping out the characters. You know,
interesting.
I got color and everything. So I got Bilbo. I got his features written down. Loves smoke rings. Loves maps. I thought that was really funny when they mentioned that. He's like, "Oh yeah, Bilbo's like really likes maps," and I was like, Hell yeah.
I didn't pick up on that. Okay.
It's like they whipped out a map and like they didn't say it specifically, but in my head I'm like, oh, Bilbo looked up, ooh, you know.
So Bilbo has a map kink?
Yeah, he loves maps. He loves
Interesting.
smoke rings.
Okay, cool. The smoke rings, yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
pick up on the maps. That's really interesting. Okay.
His mom is Belladonna Took.
Belladonna's
I
a
was
fucking boss name.
boss name, and her her maiden name Took kind of like it messed me up a little bit because I was like Took. I was reading it as like
Oh, I took your car.
Took, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But they mention in the book that Belladon, like the Took family, are really fond of adventures. So it's like the antithesis of all other hobbits. Who hobbits are like they say that hobbits don't like the adventure; they like to chill out, hang out in their
So
hobbit
they
holes.
say the Tooks are like the weird ones out.
Yeah, they like he said that the Tooks are from the water. The water is like another spot away from what was it
The
called? The
water in
hill?
the hill.
Yeah, and the hill is where Bungo Baggins, Bilbo's dad, is from. Bungo is a fucking weird name. Okay,
He sounds like he's from the Deliverance.
right? Like how does a motherfucking named Bungo get with a baddie named Belladonna? All right, that doesn't like no wonder he
Bro,
another look
what?
another fact. Bungo built the Hobbit hole for Belladonna, so I like he bro was
He was in it.
he was trying everything to keep
Deep in the
Belladonna in the house.
trenches. He was dude,
He's like,
he
baby,
was up at night.
right? He's like, baby, please stay. She goes, I want to go out and adventure. That's my nature. And he goes, I built you a house.
I,
And she's like,
that's not a house, that's a hole.
right. And then they also mentioned that he built the Hobbit hole using the Took money because Tooks are rich from all the adventuring.
How did he get the money?
Huh?
How did he get the money?
I don't know how he got the money. Maybe he like asked for a loan. But like Tooks are like
Actually,
wealthy. They're
that's
like
one of
wealthy.
my notes.
Hmm?
That the richest thing is actually one of my notes, but we'll get to it.
But oh yeah, it's just like yeah, my first like chunk of notes is just like listing all like facts that they mentioned in the first chapter about all these characters, like how Killy and Philly are the youngest dwarves in the party. I don't know why that's important to mention, but I was like, I'm gonna write
So
that.
I watched the by the way, this wasn't me wrapping you up again. That was just me going like, yeah. I watched the fucking Hobbit trailer
Trailer.
again, and the youngest dwarves don't look like dwarves.
They don't. I haven't watched the trailer since you last sent it to me, and I didn't
So
catch that.
one of them like clearly just looks like a guy. You know how dwarves have like the broad faces, the bulbous noses, the beard and stuff like that. It just
Right.
looked like the dude at the party who goes out every 5 minutes to smoke an unfiltered cigarette. Like that's it. He just has long, greasy black hair, a normal face, and was like the fucking
Does he have like a
kid.
shorter beard?
Yeah, he's like the kid that borrowed your COD copy back in the day and never gave it back. Like,
My cousin.
yeah, basically.
Yeah. Um. Maybe that's like their way of trying to show that he's the youngest or they're the youngest.
Like when Who's
Or-
from Whoville don't get their
Yeah.
face.
Right. Like they still got a normal face. Like the part underneath their nose isn't connected. Yeah.
So weird. So weird.
um. Let's see. Gandalf, wizard well known for his adventures and fireworks, which Bilbo's fond of. Bilbo's really likes his fireworks.
So your
We
first section of notes is like all characteristics, right?
yeah,
Okay.
character diagnosis kind of thing.
Hey, Uber. Oh shit, Uber sub. Thank you, buddy.
Um. But we saw that in the first Lord of the Rings movie, like when Gandalf showed up for Bilbo's 11th birthday, he brought like a whole wagon full of fireworks because
Yeah,
he knows that
he
Pippin
was
really like.
hauling into fireworks.
Yeah, and that's when what's his name? Um, Pippin and Mary were acting like shitheads. Popped off one
Pip,
of them.
Pippin's the one that we hate.
Pippin is an asshole.
Pippin's such a fuck shit, man. He's so okay. We're gonna get on to another character that's like we realize is a bit of a dickhead. Mary, fuck him.
Oh, I hate
No, not
Mary.
Mary. Pippin.
Oh no,
Pippin.
no, Mary's a chill one. Pippin is like the ass.
Pippin's fucking stupid, man. Uber, just for reference,
Mary has so
I,
much problems.
I don't think you saw our post, but we started a new book club and we're talking about the first chapter of The Hobbit right now. Flashback. Pippin's a fucking dumbass. I hate him. I hope he dies. Not the actor. The actor's cool. I'm just fucking character. Okay, continue.
An interesting note that I caught in the first chapter is that Gandalf knows Belladonna. So my understanding is that Gandalf may have gone on an adventure with the Took family, and Belladonna was there.
Do you think
along
he
with
just like uses the family?
Probably, and then they're like
All
up
right, Uber
for it too.
Peace.
They're like,
I
they're like,
guess.
oh, you're going on a run? Count me in,
Bro, Dad's gonna go get some milk. I'm gonna go with him. No.
And Gandalf also knows Thorin's father and grandfather, Thrain and Thror. I haven't mentioned them yet, but I think Thror is the grandfather, and Thrain is the father, and they got into some business, but I'm not gonna get to that yet. Um, go off with your first chunk of notes.
So, are we doing chunks or are we just doing like note, discuss,
Yeah, let's
note?
do chunks because I just went through like my first chunk because it was just character descriptions and stuff.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna right in my ear. I'm gonna go 4 notes in because it's everything that you briefly mentioned. So
Yeah, that was about how much I went through.
the first note that I have is Hobbit construction is rather interesting. So in the book, it's basically described that the Hobbit hole that Bungo built is a long tube with rooms
And
on either side. Yeah, go. What's up?
I was gonna say it's like he built it like a bunker that's exposed.
In a way,
A little bit.
yeah. So like he basically said that it's a long tube with rooms on either side, and apparently even rooms that are called cellars are on there's one floor technically. They're all on
Yeah,
the
it's like a
same
ranch
floor.
style house.
Yeah. So like why call it a cellar because that's below. Um and then the other one is why make it a tube? Why not just like make it a square or like have passages? Cuz like from the look of it the hill isn't that big.
It might not seem that big to us,
Oh
but remember,
yeah.
hobbits are half the size of us.
Hobbits
Orcs
are
are,
like what, a max 3'5"?
I would say so, yeah. Like, what was it? They mentioned they mentioned in chapter 1 that Bilbo's grandfather on the Took side was like he was huge for a hobbit, and that was about like 4 foot.
Yeah, so that's like
But
Abe Lincoln, like back in the day.
right, so like
We haven't even
um,
touched Moria, by the way.
no, we haven't. We kind of been just chilling here. Wait, did I take some damage? Oh, I'm hungry. That's why. But it so for us, it's just a regular hill, but for them, it's probably like a mountain-sized like piece of land. So they're like, let's build inside of it, like they're burrowers, you know?
Uh huh. So yeah, but like, why make it a pipe? Why make it a pipe stem? That's just the thing that's like messing with me is why make it a pipe stem?
That's understandable. Um, what was I gonna say? I kind of got a little bit um more familiar with hobbit holes
Mm-hmm.
in a weird way. I was in it's a little tangent. I was in VR, and in Steam VR you can choose a different environment to make your home. That's why I sent you a while ago. It was like I'm like on this like kind of like wooden structure in the middle of the ocean type thing.
Hmm.
That's my home now. But thank you. Um, one of the places I checked out was a hobbit hole.
Okay.
It was Bilbo's hobbit hole,
How'd you
and
like
so
that?
like it was kind of it was weird, and it was very much like the books described it. It was like tunnels with rooms breaking off.
Yeah.
So it was really weird, but I kind of liked it. It was very cozy.
Before I get into my, oh, actually, no, I'll reference this again. They also said that they reserved the best, like the most important rooms for the rooms to have the windows. So like the room, like the kitchen, the dining room, all that, they were the most important rooms, so they got to have windows and were facing the outside. And I was just like, that's pretty funny. send
Yeah,
send the guest rooms to the back with no windows.
with no windows, they're just like stuck in darkness.
So
Send them north.
my next thing is that they also state that the Bagginses were also rich, but you've never really considered hobbits to have like a currency. So it always
Right.
seems to like go that they trade or barter or they just give things to each other. So how do you think the Bagginses got so rich? Because like you said the Tooks probably took loot.
Right. That's something I'm like stuck on because while I was reading chapter 2, I was just sitting there because like like Bilbo's just like, oh, I want to go home. I want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
What does Bilbo do for work? Like from what we've read in the book so far, all he kind of does is hang out in his hobbit
It's
hole,
smoke.
cook meals for himself, and smoke. That's about how like I know people like that. They don't have money. Some of them do from like illegal practices, but like they don't have money. So what?
I I couldn't tell you, dude, because it doesn't seem like for Bilbo at least it could be just like okay he's a trust fund baby,
Right,
but everybody else it didn't really tell you what like how they were rich.
right. Like what's I figure the what hobbits really do on a daily basis is more like trade, like you said,
Yeah, because well
trading stuff like that.
remember with Samwise and Frodo he's his gardener like that's a job.
Right.
So like how do you think he pays him? With kisses and hugs?
Probably, I do the same. Do you see Samwise?
Honestly, yeah, Samwise is pretty adorable. Anywho, okay, so with that, now here's something that I found interesting, and it might only be me that found it interesting or like kind of connected the dots pretty late. So, like you said, Bilbo's mother, Belladonna, her last name was Took. I looked up the family tree. That means that Frodo, Merry, and Pippin were all cousins.
Really?
Yeah, they're Took. And I looked up the family tree, so it's like Took, like Belladonna, and then the Baggins. They had brothers and sisters, and they're all family.
That probably explains why Merry and Pippin are so like um mischievous. It's
Be-
because like that's in their family's nature.
True. Okay, yeah, that does explain. Well, it doesn't explain why Pippin's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, like if wait, like yeah, if that's how like Tooks act,
I don't want to be a Took.
no wonder they live by the water because nobody wants them over on the.
Before you go out, check this really quickly. I just noticed this, and now I can't unsee it. Look at this. There's a hole in here.
What the hell?
How do we? How do? God damn it! How do we crouch again? Oh, right here. Oh, oh, oh! No wonder we keep getting bears in here.
Is it a bear cave?
It's a bear den.
How the hell does a bear fit in there, but we can't?
I don't know. Okay, let's go explore. We've just been standing here for a little bit, but we're gonna keep talking.
Yeah.
So my
yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so my last note, not really much to go off on, but it just stating that Tooks are apparently. Did it just get really foggy? Um,
It's dark.
Tooks are apparently much richer than the Bagginses,
That makes sense.
and it just goes back to like, where do you think they all got it from?
The Tooks definitely got it from their plunders on adventures,
Uh huh.
but it still doesn't like kind of explain how the Baggins have money. Like what's their family business? You know?
Yeah, that's one thing that we do have to figure out is just like how the Bagginses got their cash.
Yeah, because like from my understanding on how Bilbo acts in general, the Bagginses seem like a bunch of pussies.
It's not even pussies. It's just like they're very nonchalant. They like don't do anything.
Killed a beautiful ass deer.
Oh, not the
like
deer.
Like they don't really do much. Kind of hang around and smoke all day like a bunch of bums.
Yeah, like you.
Weird. No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I work for a living.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so that was my first section. I have 3 more notes. Why don't you? How many notes do you have left for the first chapter?
I got a few. I got like about 5 or 6 more.
Okay,
I already mentioned one of them.
so you do like another 3, and then we'll discuss them, and then I'll do another 3, and then you finish off.
Okay, yeah. All right. So they mentioned that Gandalf received the map of Dale.
Okay.
From Thorin's father Thrain. Now, I think how they explained how he got that map, because they had like a back and forth about this, and Gandalf was being like weirdly cryptic about it.
Yeah, I remember when Thrain was talking about his dad, Gandalf was like, I have your dad's medallion. Why do you have my dad's medallion? Because he gave it to me. Why? It should be mine. Who the hell are you?
Like it should be mine. He's like, you're right, it should be yours. That's why I was gonna give it to you. And you're like, I don't think you're gonna actually give it to me if
like, what? No.
Like there's
so
that's why we say say that Gandalf's
so yeah, let's get into that really quickly. This isn't really no, but it's just something we've noticed. Gandalf is low-key a dick. Like, he is just an asshole.
Like first, like he like all right, let me get into this. I was thinking about this in the car on the drive back home. Bilbo clearly said he didn't want anything to do with an adventure, but Gandalf still scratched a note on the front of his door.
That
First of all,
pissed me off.
And then sent 13 little dudes over to his house and it was like, hey, this is gonna be your burglar. And Bilbo had no idea about this. He was just sitting at home. He was about to light up his pipe, and then all of a sudden it's like, ding dong, and then it was like, oh, what?
And like, Bilbo probably didn't even know what a burglar was.
Right. It's like, he's like, you want me to do what?
I don't know. All I know is that like I would be pissed off. I would be like, no, get away. I don't care if you guys are cool. Actually, no. If we saw a bunch of dwarves and be like, yo, we're going on an adventure, I feel like you and I would be like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, we would join 100%. But like, what didn't want anything to do with it, and like Gandalf still sent the dwarves over, and he's like, hey, this is your dude. He's cool, trust me. And Bill was like, why are you sending 13 people to my house? And then they're like, oh yeah, we
13.
want this. Yeah, they're like, oh, we want. He's like, oh, at your service, and then Bilbo's like, oh, I'm at like pleasure to meet you. I'm at your service too, and then because Bilbo likes to host people at his house, he said that. The thing is, these were unexpected guests.
And not only that, so you have a huge guy like Gandalf in at least Ian McKellen is at least 6 feet tall, right?
Right.
You have a huge guy who takes up a lot of space, and then you have 13 dwarves who
Who are bigger than hobbits.
dwarves are bigger than hobbits. Like, I don't care how big the hobbit hole is. That is huge. That is so many people.
That is so many people, and they're just like, hey, we want. Like, oh, you're offering food. Oh, I want this. I want this. I want.
Oh my!
This again, want
I
wine."
would be so pissed off. That, you know what? I'm gonna go to my last note for the the chapter. I wrote Gandalf has got balls just volunteering a hobbit who never met him before to go on an adventure with 13 random dwarves. Like,
Right.
you are out of your mind, old man.
Gandalf is like the textbook definition of the unemployed friend because
Yeah.
of course your unemployed friend would invite random people to your house without asking you first, and then also
Nick,
dip
you
out
can't
on
mind that.
Yeah, we can.
No, you can't.
I'm getting stoned from this. I don't know what you're talking
I don't think you are.
about. I am.
Are you really? No, you're not. There's no way.
Do you see that stone drop there? I didn't add stone.
Whatever. So, okay, your next note. I got a big note, by the way.
So it's more like, all right. Let me read off the next two because they coincide with each other.
Okay, cool.
So Thror, that is Thorin's grandfather, died in Dale trying to get the treasures in Dale back from Smog. He was trying to run back in there.
Greedy bastards.
Yep, and then Smog was like,
Nah.
no.
Yeah, basically.
And then I should have put this farther up, but it's explaining Dale. So Dale was a dwarven city in a mountain, on the Lonely Mountain, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the dwarves thrived and had amassed a large amount of treasure, gold, and jewels before Smog the dragon attacked and kept the hoard of gold and jewels to himself. And that essentially just like put the like the dwarves' economy was like up here, and then Smog showed up and it dropped.
Dwarves were like each major world empire at their height.
Yeah, they were.
And then Smog was the Black Plague.
Yeah, and then like they said in the book like the dwarves are at such a good place, like financially, like economically, that they could start just making stuff for fun. So they just started making a bunch of shit like artistically and everything. That's why their art is like that, right?
Yeah.
And then Smog showed up. He was like, "Ooh,
Burn.
right here, it's mine now." And then kicked the dwarves out.
That's one thing is just like you rarely see the trope that dragons just love gold now. And that's very apparent with Smog and like the Tolkien book is just it goes back to the old like, oh, dragons find a hoard of gold, do nothing with it.
They just sit on it.
They just sit so like gold is memory foam to them.
Right. It's just really comfy. And I get it because if it had that much like gold coins underneath me, it's bound to like form into the shape of my body. Right? So like I get where they're coming from. But come on.
It's just yeah, and the dwarf like take the elves. Like at least they're immortal to an extent.
Right, they could make that stuff back easy.
Yeah.
The dwarf, leave them alone, our boys.
It's just a weird dwarf. It's just a weird trope for like the dragon and the horde and stuff like that. You know, it's almost on the same level as like the dragon wants to kidnap the princess.
Right. It's like,
Which,
why?
yeah, like what is the point? And like
It's
where did
gonna
those
lay down.
tropes come from?
We should look. I'm gonna look that up. Hold up.
Also, we have not ate or slept. We need to do both.
Yeah. Where does the trope? Oh, I'm on all caps.
Just tell me, Google.
Greedy dragon trope come. All right. In fact, up to the 17th century, dragons were considered to be emblematic of representation of greed. Ooh.
So there are representations?
Yeah, the one possible explanation of the origin of this trope comes from the old hypothesis about dragon legends being inspired by dinosaur fossils. Okay, that doesn't explain shit.
That doesn't explain anything.
Doesn't explain a damn thing. It's like, oh yeah, so the reason that cars run is because you got somewhere near the car, and yeah,
You
like,
sneezed.
it sneezed. That's why cars are here.
That doesn't make any sense. And then some guy named Ford came along, hired a bunch of Asian guys, and created the assembly line.
Yeah.
Like,
the greedy dragon trope, where dragons are depicted as hoarding treasure and being obsessed with wealth, primarily stems from European mythology, with roots in ancient Greek and Norse legends, where dragons often guarded valuable items like the golden fleece and figures like Fafnir. Where sorry, that was like a weird, like,
that sounds dwarven.
spiky. Were specifically known for their greed and desire for gold. This association was further solidified in medieval literature and art, portraying dragons as covetous creatures demanding tribute from villages, solidifying
Covetous?
the link between dragons and greed. Okay.
We didn't get an
So
answer.
what's that mean?
Yeah, we didn't. Basically, I think dragons were like a personification of greed. Like how like snakes were like deceit.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's just that's where that came from. That was a really dumb way
Yeah.
to go. While we discuss your next topic, we should explore this little open area.
Okay, bet. Where did I leave off on? Okay, I was explaining Dale.
Yeah, you're explaining like Thor and Dale and like how they came about and him running back in.
Yeah, so Thor ran back in trying to get the gold back. I figure he was leading an expedition, and things did not go as planned, and Smaug took him out.
Okay.
And then Thrain tried doing the same, but he ended up losing his mind, and that's when Gandalf met him, and Thrain did it. Like they said, like Thrain didn't even like remember his own name.
I recall that, and I'm just like, what happened?
Yeah, and like they said he still remembered Thorin, so he gave the map and the he gave the things that he wanted Thorin to have to Gandalf, and Gandalf failed to failed to mention that until it was asked.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm gonna keep it until it's mentioned.
Yeah, this is yours. I was meaning to give it back to you. Like, no, you weren't.
I was gonna give it back to you when you were ready.
Yeah, like, okay, that's what they all say.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck?
So yeah, that's another reason Gandalf's an asshole.
He's kind of a dick. Gandalf is kind of a dick. Let's be real. He's a funny dick, but he's kind of a dick.
Ian McKellen made him really likable.
Well, it's Ian McKellen.
Say, just from the two chapters we've read, I already really want to watch the animated movie.
Where he goes like,
old one. Yeah.
he just like he psychs out Bilbo.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, actually, you know what? The rest of my notes are kind of like, or just about Dale in general. So I'm just gonna
go through
them real quick. The 13 dwarves plan to go back to Dale, retrieve their treasures. Went over that in the summary.
Mm-hmm.
With the help of Gandalf, who enlists Bilbo Baggins to be their burglar, unbeknownst to Bilbo. And that was something we were talking about earlier.
And they went along with it, like.
Yeah, they're like Bilbo obviously did not like no, this is all going on. The dwarves are like, "You're a burglar, right?" And he's like,
What?
"I don't know." And then Gandalf shows like, "Oh yeah, that's the
He's
guy
like,
right there."
I've never seen a dwarf in my life. What are you talking about?
Right. And they're like, "All right, well, you know what? Let me sing this song to you real quick, and then you're gonna be down for it. Trust me."
Honestly, if I heard that song, I read the song in the like tone.
Yeah, I was trying to read it in a cadence and
Far
tone.
over
Couldn't really get into it.
the
But
misty
I like how they all just like
mountains.
whipped out instruments and they're like, "Oh yeah, like let's throw down a beat real quick and try to convince this little hobbit to like join our join our adventure."
And these two huge
Or-
fat guys just show up and be like, yo, let's go.
yeah, they're like, "Hey, you want to join our dragon heist? Dragon heist? Yeah, you're gonna sneak in there and you get the stuff back." Right?
He's like, if you live, not only will you get the loot, but you're gonna split it 13 ways.
Yeah.
And
No,
I'm
no,
just-
no, not 13 ways. 14 ways.
oh yeah, because like he just dips. We'll talk about that. So
I'm loving this book so far. I'm not even gonna lie.
it's yeah, it's a lot. Um, do you have arrows that you want to hold?
Yeah, I got like some arrows.
All right, I'll drop those for you.
I'm glad that we're like staying on topic. This is something we were kind of worried about with playing a game and talking about
We're
a book
so
at the same time.
like focused on this that maybe we should go to the other idea of just like playing after we're done,
Yeah,
because we're just
like yeah, we have the like the vibe going right now, like just walking around
yeah.
the mind.
So are those all your notes for chapter
From
one?
chapter one, yeah, my last. Oh wait, there's like a small one where the side door of Dale was like 5 feet high and could fit 3 dwarves abreast. Which I mean, I guess that's
That's
three
pretty
dwarves
wide.
That's a wide door, but
That's
it's
almost
rectangle.
like wider than the height.
You think so?
If I were to draw a shape of a dwarf, it would be a square.
Yeah.
So like 5
Let's
feet
wait.
high. Go for
Let's
it.
stand side to side real quick.
What'd you say?
Let's visualize this.
Okay.
Let's stand side to side real quick. Let's visualize this. Okay.
So
Yeah, that's wider than a normal door.
a dwarf is like, okay, so 3 foot 5 is a hobbit. A dwarf is at least 4 feet
Right.
max ish.
Mm-hmm.
That means the height is like a dwarf and a half.
Yeah, like we definitely have to duck to get in there.
We would have to duck walk.
Yeah, like that would be really like a short door, but it's pretty wide.
It's very wide. Because look, I would say like
6 feet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, look at your door. It's 7 feet tall and 3 feet across.
Is it 3 feet? I don't have a ruler. I don't know.
It's about a yard, I would say. And just like imagine that on its side.
2.5 feet. I would say 2.5 feet.
Okay, whatever.
I'm going by my forearm and I'm a size 12. So like your forearm and your foot size coincide.
I forgot that was a
Look,
thing.
Fun fact, your wingspan is supposed to be your height. Or close.
No way, really?
I tested I was told that when I was a mechanic because I was measuring a hose length, and then they were like, "Oh, you don't need a yardstick. You just bring it to your wingspan, and then you just make a guesstimate there." Because your wingspan is supposed to be close to your height.
It does not feel like my wingspan is at least 6
It doesn't.
feet.
But I don't know.
Weird off topic. I'm
Oh.
dropping a lot of coal and stone, my guy. Okay.
Oh, dude, I see a bunch of shit.
Okay. So is that your last one?
Yeah, that's my last one for chapter 1.
Okay, so my last one for chapter 1, and then I'll go ahead into my summary of chapter 2, is basically, for those who don't know, what is the song Misty Mountains Cold about? And
Yeah, I want you to explain that to me too.
really?
Yeah, because I got the gist of it. It's like the story of Dale and what they're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah. So, according to Google, Misty Mountains Cold refers to a song from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, of course, where the
Mhm.
dwarves, led by Thorin Oakenshield, sing about their tragic history from being driven from their mountain home, Erebor, by the dragon Smaug.
Is it
Thus,
Arab? I thought it was Dale's probably the city, right?
I think the mountain is Erebor,
Okay.
and the city within it is like Dale.
Okay.
So, excuse me. By Smaug. So basically, this sets the stage for their whole conquest of like we're gonna go to Dale and Erebor and basically take back our home.
Yeah.
The song or the phrase "Misty Mountains Cold" describes the cold, foggy mountain range where Erebor is located, and the song serves as a powerful motivator for Bilbo Baggins to join their adventure. The lyrics depict the dwarves' longing for their lost home and their desire for revenge against Smaug, which helps establish the driving force behind their journey. Now,
God.
I don't have this written down, but I want to read through the lyrics.
I'm gonna make you food, by the way.
Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome, son.
So I'm gonna read through the lyric. I'm gonna read through the lyrics of Misty Mountains Cold, and this will like kind of.
Want me to get Maya down here with her flute to like kind of like. That'll just be like.
Dude, there's a lot of reverberation for that. I'm like, I feel it. Okay, so the verse, the main verse, or the chorus, I should say, is far over the misty mountains cold. So that would be Erebor. To dungeons deep and caverns old. We must away ere break a day to seek our pale enchanted gold. So the first verse isn't even the one where it says to find our long forgotten gold, which it changes in the middle of the song.
Okay.
So the next verse is the dwarves of yore made mighty spells while hammers fell like ringing bells in places deep where dark things sleep in hollow halls beneath the fells. So basically, like at this point in the song, they're just kind of saying the history of it. And to me, the song, like even if you were to sing it lively or to sing it the way they were, it's a very like dark feeling.
Right.
Because
it's what's it, melancholy? Is that the word?
It's very melancholy and just a sense of dread. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like this is not gonna be like a lighthearted adventure. This is.
And then you're gonna be like, well, they're here, so that means, you know.
Smaug ain't shit.
No. For ancient king and elvish lord, there are many a gleaming golden hoard. They shaped and wrought, and the light they caught to hide in gems on hilt of sword. So basically explaining like what they did with all this stuff. Next verse. On silver necklaces they strung, the flowering stars on crowns they hung. The dragon fire on twisted wire, they meshed the light of moon and sun. Now, here is where they change the verse from pale gold to we must away or break of day to claim our long forgotten gold. At this point in the story, they're like, we're no longer at Erebor. Erebor? Yeah.
Erebor.
So you're like, okay, we completely missed where our mine was, our little mining area was.
Oh, it's a line.
It's right here, yeah. Now, the next part is goblets they carved there for themselves, and harps of gold where no man dwells. There they lay long. There lay they long. See, that's where it comes in. Barely literate, everybody. He said
Barely
it.
literate.
He said
He said the name of the big.
it. There they fuck. There lay they long, and many a song was unheard by men or elves. Now here's where we get to the insanity. The pines were roaring on the heights, the wind was moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blazed with light. The bells were ringing in the dale, and men looked up with faces pale. The dragon's ire, more fierce than fire, laid low their towers and houses frail. So at this point in the song, they're like, Smog has attacked. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and just seeing your town on fire and a dragon burning everything.
Yeah, and it seems like the way they described it is that the dragon destroyed their homes like it was nothing.
It's like, burp, your house is disintegrated.
Right.
I'll be right back. I gotta go fix some stuff if you want to come with. But just like, that's like so, just imagine this. Ready? Like, in your head, just picture the pines were roaring on the heights. The wind was moaning in the night. So like, you're in your, what's up?
There's a chest. Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, those are empty. Dude, we gotta sleep. I'm exhausted. But like, you're a hobbit, not a hobbit. You're a dwarf. You're chilling in Dale, and all of a sudden, like, shit is going down, man.
Like, well, just imagine this from like Bilbo's perspective too. Like he's hearing this song and he's like, "What?"
And it's all like throat singing, like that. Holy shit!
Oh, we're under siege.
Are we under siege? Oh, we'll kill him.
You fuckers.
Under siege? I see two of you.
Call this a siege. I call this springtime.
Damn. Is that it?
I think so.
Ooh, cabbage. Is there another one? Oh, behind you, behind you.
I kind of I kind of imagine the singing like you remember the like when they were singing about ice in the beginning of Frozen?
Vaguely.
Like it's like chanting, low-key.
The only song that I know from Frozen is the na na hey na like that one.
I wish I could play you like a snippet without getting
Just taken down.
I'll send you the video later.
And then the fire was red, it flaming spread. The trees like torches blazed with light. Just trees on fire. I imagine this as like the Blitzkrieg for dwarves.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So the last two, oh no, there's even more verses. We're like halfway through the song.
Oh yeah, no, that song took up like a full page.
The mountains smoked beneath the moon. The dwarves, they heard the tramp of doom. They fled the hall to dying fall, beneath his feet, beneath the moon. Far over the misty mountains grim, to dungeons deep and caverns dim. We must away ere break of day to win our harps and gold from him. So that's an immediate change.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to sleep. We need to sleep.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Oh, you should have told me.
I just thought about this.
I'm getting chills reading it too.
Remember in Lord of the Rings, Fellowship, when they went, like they were going to the mines. They didn't want to go down there, but was that Erebor?
No, that was Moria.
That was Moria.
You know where they had the the fight with all the goblins like racing up to them,
Yeah.
that was Moria, dude.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking because like I remember them going through like a side entry,
Nah,
and
that and then that like tentacle came out.
yeah.
Yeah, that was Moria.
Okay.
To wind was on the withered heath, but in the forest stirred no leaf. The shadows lay be night or day, and dark things silent crept beneath. The wind came down from mountains cold, and like a tide roared and rolled. The branches groaned, the forest moaned, and leaves were laid upon the mold. The wind went on from west to east, all movement in the forest ceased. But shrill and harsh across the marsh, its whistling voices were released. The grasses hissed, their tassels bent. The reeds were rattling, on it went. O'er shaken pool, under heaven's cool, where racing clouds were torn and rent. It passed the lonely mountain bare, and swept above the dragon's lair. There black and dark lay boulders stark, and flying smoke was in the air. Like, goddamn, man.
You know how I imagined this scene when I was reading it? Um, I don't know how. I don't. It's probably not like you probably don't like kind of would understand this too much. But I kind of read it and I was thinking like Bilbo, like in Bilbo's perspective, he just took like a crazy rip out of the bong, and the other people in the room with him that are like also smoking just started singing this like creepy ass song, and he's sitting there like rocking back and like, oh, like freaking out. Like that's how I kind of
Jesus.
read it. I've been in that situation before
Ah, shit.
too, so like I totally resonate with Bilbo. I'm like, there's 13 random people show up in my house. We smoked, and now they're singing about a dragon destroying their home, and how we're gonna go back and take that back. Are you
So
kidding me?
that was like half the song. I'm not gonna read any more of it. Um,
Like too many lyrics.
it was a lot of lyrics. So
Yeah.
that pretty much brings us to the end of only chapter one.
Oh, we still got chapter 2 to go.
Well, actually, surprisingly, I don't have a lot of notes
Only
for
an
chapter
hour.
two.
I have a few, mostly me talking shit about Gandalf.
Yeah, dude, Jesus Christ. So let me go ahead and read you my notes
I have a
for
good amount of notes actually.
Jesus. I'm gonna go ahead and read you my notes for chapter two. So
Read the.
oh yeah, the summary. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Let me pull that up really quickly. So
Put some feeling into it. Do what I can.
do what I can. Okay, so chapter two. Bilbo wakes up the next morning, relieved to find his house empty and the dwarves gone. He assumes he's off the hook for the adventure, but Gandalf arrives and hurriedly sends him after the group. Bilbo scrambles to join the dwarves who are already on their way. Without much preparation, he begins his unexpected journey. As the group travels, they come across signs of fire in the distance. Thorin sends Bilbo ahead to investigate, wanting him to prove his worth as a burglar. Nervously, Bilbo approaches and discovers 3 large trolls: Tom, Bert, and William.
Weird.
Tom,
Craziest name.
Bert,
Trolls.
and William. You got
Troll.
Thorin, Borin, Oin, Glowing, Gimli,
Killy and Philly. Don't forget about them.
Bilbo, Bungo, Belladonna, Frodo.
Bad.
Ready? Tom, Bert, William. Literally, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. That's what I picture.
And don't forget about what's it? I'm trying to think of a comedian named like Bill or something.
Oh, Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill. I was gonna say Bill Burr, but I was like, Bill Burr is actually funny. That's the thing.
Wait, you don't think Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura are funny?
I think they're annoying now.
I think they're hilarious. And especially when Tom Kreischer, Bert Kreischer's laugh. It's like when you and I wheeze, that's what I picture.
Well, at this point, I feel like he's faking it. I think he's.
I don't
I got a lot of beef with him. Like, I'm not gonna get into it.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm a grade A hater.
Tom, Bert, and William sitting around the campfire, cooking mutton and arguing. Basically, they were just arguing about having ate mutton for too many nights. Like, remember
And
that?
you know, that's fair though too,
But
because
like,
if I had to eat the same thing for multiple nights in a row,
I get it.
I'd be pretty confused.
Um, Bilbo tries to pickpocket one of the trolls to show his skills, but he is caught. The trolls are initially amused by the small hobbit and argue over how to cook him. Before they can decide, the dwarves come to investigate. One by one, the dwarves are captured by the trolls, who now have more potential meals. Just as things seem dire, Gandalf returns and cleverly imitates the troll's voice to confuse them. He makes them argue until dawn, at which point the rising sun turns the trolls to stone, as trolls cannot survive the sunlight. Gandalf, you fucking troll yourself.
Yeah.
Like, god damn it. I I don't know, man.
I
I also have more.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
After the trolls are defeated, the group searches their cave and finds weapons, provisions, and gold. Gandalf and Thorin each take swords from the hoard, later revealed to be ancient elven blades, and Bilbo finds a small dagger which is perfectly sized for him and becomes his first weapon. With supplies and newfound courage, the group sets off again, continuing their journey toward the Lonely Mountain. Bilbo, though still uncertain about his burglar skills, begins to realize that adventures might not be so bad after all. This chapter introduces the dangers of the journey, highlights Bilbo's inexperience, and shows Gandalf's cleverness and resourcefulness and assholeness.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So it's
It also provides the group with important weapons that will play significant roles later in their story. So,
I don't think they mentioned that those were elven blades.
I don't remember that either, actually.
Yeah, the ChatGPT synopsis might have spoiled that for us a little bit.
I don't know if that much of a spoiler, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, not that. Yeah, because I mean, I kind of figured that the blade that Bilbo picked up was Sting.
I don't think it is Sting.
No.
I don't know why, but I have a feeling that it's not actually Sting.
Well, I'm thinking if it's elven, that like they were. Man, this bear's beating our ass. I remember that Bilbo gave Frodo that sword.
Yeah.
And it was revealed to be elven, called the Sting. So like I don't know. I kind of pictured it to be Sting itself. They said they were gonna go over the runes later.
This bear is kicking our ass.
Low-key.
Okay, goddamn it.
What the fuck?
I am, but like it's going after me. I can't get an attack in. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so I find I wrote two things, and I'll just say them quickly. I do find it quite interesting that Tolkien is writing the book as if he's telling us the story instead of it just being a story.
Because he kind of like, I noticed that when I was reading it, is like it's like he's like telling the story, and then he's like referencing us. He's like telling, like, oh yeah, you wouldn't understand this.
Yeah, he's like, it's been a while since hobbits and dwarves were a thing. You wouldn't remember them, basically.
Right.
And I'm just like,
I kind of like that way of telling that story.
because it makes it seem real. It makes it seem realer than it is.
Like he's like, yo, this like happened a long time ago, but like, this is crazy. Hear me out.
Hey, just wait. And the last thing, this may sound like a joke, but I don't think it was. I wrote, apparently trolls are made of mountains.
Well, when I read that and got to the part where the trolls got stuck in sunlight, first thing I thought about was that episode of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Where, we're calling like
he trolled the troll.
Yeah, and then he kept him up until like the sun came up.
So
like, oh, Like, did
Apparent,
Tolkien come up with that, or was that a thing before?
I don't know. I didn't look that up, but I think if I remember correctly, um, that in the book it said the trolls turned into the same stone as if from the mountain.
Yeah.
So that made me think. I was like, oh, are trolls like born out of mountains or like made
Or are
like
they like a manifestation of like nature in that way?
I don't know because I feel like trolls in different you know histories are like different representations. So there's like the frozen trolls, which are little boulders and they hide and stuff like that. Then you have
Yeah.
the trolls. Fun fact, everybody, into my life, I have trolls in my house. Like I collect little trolls. Um, and they look
Every time
like
I come over, I was gonna say every time I come over, I always find them in the weirdest space.
they're fun. It's like my yearly elf on a shelf.
Yeah.
Um, so they're like made out of wood and stuff like that, and it's just making me think. So like, I guess trolls are part of nature, because then you have like bridge trolls. I don't know. That's just like one thing where it's like different pieces of fantasy kind of do different representations.
Right, like the troll toll who's trying to get into that boy's hole and stuff like
Soul,
that.
soul. Does it sound like I'm saying hole? Also, on a different tangent, that's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I saw an ad on Hulu that they were doing a collab with Abbott Elementary, and
Yeah, I
I
saw that
have
too.
not seen Always Sunny in a few years. Dude, they're all got old.
They got yeah. I saw the latest season when it came out because I was watching the podcast. But yeah, they got old.
And it's not like, ew, they're old, like everybody ages, but I'm just like, shit, I haven't seen what they looked like in a long time.
Yeah,
And
because we always watch the episodes when they're young and they're like
yeah, we
30s.
always go back. And the one that shocked me the most, um, Glenn Howerton aged pretty well. But the one that
Yeah,
shocked me the most was actually Charlie Day.
he doesn't look like he aged that much.
In that commercial, he had a lot of gray hairs showing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Um,
Looking good, Charlie.
I mean, I have gray
Uh,
hair.
I saw one in my beard at some point. I was
I
like,
have
oh
a
no.
fuck me. I just dropped my phone. Um, I have a white patch on the top of my head. It's only like 4 or 5 hairs, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like whenever I look at my dad, his like white streaks are starting to turn more into white clumps.
Yeah, and then you're like, damn, you're a daddy.
Yeah.
So
You see
what?
my gram? Got white hair. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So what are your notes for So like any things for chapter 2?
So okay, so those were your only two notes?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't really seem like anything in chapter 2 stood out for me that much.
Yeah, they kind of grazed over the traveling part.
Right? It felt like
Yeah,
it was just morning. Oh, and then the Green Dragon bar. That's something that they mentioned. Um,
yeah, that's part of my notes. There's a bar by my house called the Green Dragon Inn. I've been there a few times.
is it Tolkien themed?
I think it is because it's like a place where it's like a regular bar. They have like a big wall full of board games that you can check out and play at your table, and then they also have rooms breaking off where if you have a party, you can play D&D in there.
It's gotta be Tolkien themed then.
It's probably
We should
Tolkien
check it
themed.
out next time I come up.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that until I read that. I was like, the Green Dragon Inn. There's a place by me it's in like a dead part of the city though. Like
Oh no.
it's weird. Yeah, so yeah, that's one of my notes. Um, oh yeah, the dwarves and Gandalf are rude as fuck for just leaving a mess
Oh,
in Frodo's house.
oh my god. Yeah, because like at
Dishes
first
weren't
they
done.
they cleaned up at night. I was like, oh, they're
Yeah,
gonna clean up in the morning. Nope.
nah. Mm-mm.
Now you kind of see what I got to deal with when you come over.
They didn't do I do my dishes. I didn't do it. They didn't do a single dish. They just left all those pots and pans out. Bilbo's like, motherfucker.
He
And
was
then
just like, I don't mind doing dishes. I'll do it. Also, I said go to sleep,
yeah,
by the way.
I just I like the fact that he tried to like sleep in to try to avoid this adventure. He's like, oh, so then finally
Oh,
Gandalf's like, hey
no.
motherfucker, you gotta get going. It's 10:45.
And he's like, what are you talking about? And he goes, they're leaving at 11.
You better get going, little buddy.
What? No.
Bilbo's like, okay. And then he left, and he's like, oh no, I forgot my hat, my walking stick, and my weed. No.
And then Gandalf was just like, yo,
Oh yeah,
I got some walking stick and I got your weed, but I don't have a hat for you. And then Thorin was like, here, take a cloak, bitch. And then I remembered he was like, oh, I'm soaked now.
yeah. Like they were all soaked because they're raining out of nowhere. They're like, it's May. No.
Oh
But
my god.
yeah, like that's another thing on my notes is like Gandalf, although kind of an absent dick, is a real one for rolling up to bring Bilbo his pipe and some handkerchiefs.
Oh, that's right. It was handkerchiefs.
Yeah, he rolled up out of nowhere on his horse, and he's like, "Hey, brought your shit." And then Bilbo's like, "Hell yeah!" And then at some point, Gandalf is just like gone, nowhere to be seen,
He just
dipped
dips
out.
again. And he's like,
Yeah,
what did he say? He was, oh, he was going to go talk to the elves.
yeah, he went to Rivendell.
And I'm just like, hey.
Yeah, like that's like my literally my next note is I wrote these all as I'm reading,
Me
right?
too.
So I'm like, all right, Gandalf, although is kind of an absent dick, is a real one for rolling up, bringing Bilbo his pipe and some handkerchiefs. And then the next one is, where the fuck is Gandalf? Dude just ups and vanishes out of nowhere. And
he
then,
literally just dipped. It wasn't even like, all right, guys, I'm gonna leave.
no,
Fucking Bilbo looks back and he's not there.
yeah, they're all like, hey, where's Gandalf?
It
Like
was
the
like,
only tall
did
dude in this party.
didn't we have a wizard? Like, what?
Yeah, he's like, I can think of like 3 friends of mine that do that. They just like up and vanish when we're out in
I
like a
hate
party.
that. I
Like
hate that so much. Don't do
that's
the
the
Irish
best.
goodbye.
I do the Irish. I did the Irish goodbye at this last party I went to just because I didn't know anybody. The only person I really knew that was there was outside smoking a cigarette, so I was gonna go say bye to him because I was gonna head outside.
Hmm.
But the girl that invited me, I was gonna go up to her and be like, hey, thanks for inviting me. I'm gonna head out. But she was like surrounded by people, so I was just like, I'm just gonna message her. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I get it.
but yeah, but like yeah, that's like the most annoying thing is when you're out in a party, you look around, you're like, where's that one? You're like, he just goes out of nowhere. You're like, you text him, doesn't get text back. Then an hour later, he's like, oh, I went to the store. Like, what store? Like,
Like, what are you talking about?
right. Uh, okay. So my next note is, Bilbo is going through it. Not only did he not want to go on this adventure slash heist, now they got him checking out potentially dangerous settings to see if things are safe. Then they're just like, hey, go check that out real
Yeah,
quick.
the smallest being in the group. Yo, can you go like check out 3 trolls for us?
Yeah, like they don't know it's trolls. Like, I'll give them that, but like, you don't know what's out there. Then you're gonna send them out alone.
I would have been once I saw the trolls, I would have been nah, fuck that.
And then I was like, and then why would Bilbo like? All right, so Bilbo like goes out and checks out the area. He sees the 3 trolls, Bert, what's his name, William, and
Tom.
Tom, and he sees them there eating the mutton, drinking their ale. He's like, okay, all right, they feasted, but they're kind of pissed off. And then he's like, oh wait, I'm a hobbit. I'm like really quiet. Like hobbits are like great at stealth. That was my next one. I was like, Bilbo's definitely a rogue, not a good one though.
No, he's like a first level rogue that
Yeah,
rolls really shit.
yeah.
But here's the
But
thing,
then
like, how did he get caught again?
he, that was part of my note. He was pickpocketing William. He tried to pickpocket William. That's why I was like, why would he try to pickpocket the troll, instead of grabbing some supplies and heading back to the dwarves.
So he just got caught by pickpocketing.
Yeah, he went to go pickpocket, and then like I guess there was something in his pocket that's like, or like maybe the other trolls saw him, and they like caught him, and they're like, "Hey, what guy?" Because they had never seen a hobbit before, and uh, what was it? Bilbo goes like, he was about to say, "I'm a burglar," like a burglar, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a hobbit," like at like the same time. So they're like, "You're a burrow hobbit?" Like what's a burrow hobbit? And they're like, "I don't know, but should we cook them?" And they're like, "Yeah, I think we should cook them." And he's like, "Please don't cook me, bro. I can cook pretty
Please,
good.
sir.
I'll cook them
Please.
for you." He's like begging for his life. And then the dwarves realized something was wrong because he didn't hoot like an owl. And they're like, "Hey, hoot like
He's like, I don't know how
hoot
to hoot.
yeah, he's like, hoot twice." It's like the dumbest thing ever. The dwarves are like, "All right, if something's bad, twice like a barn owl and once like a screecher owl," and then sent Bilbo on his way. And then Bilbo's like walking. He was like, "I don't even know how to hoot. I don't know what those owls are like."
He's like, what is an owl?
It's an owl. So the dwarves figure out something is wrong. So one by one, they start going in to try to check in, and they get caught. Um,
One by
I want to talk.
one.
Yeah, they get caught one by one. I don't know how the trolls are like sneaking up on the dwarves this easily,
So,
but I want to talk about the art
okay.
because art
Oh,
looks.
I was gonna fucking show you that actually. Do you mind if I show you really quickly? This is one of my notes that I completely forgot to do for Act
Yeah,
1.
yeah,
So, Gandalf is described very oddly in this book. I don't know if you decided to look up what Gandalf looked like.
I definitely wrote it down.
This, okay, if you wrote down the description, read it.
Yeah, all right. So I got gray robes, a blue pointed hat, silver scarf, and a long gray beard.
Okay. Nothing like, first off, that it can't be the person because Ian McKellen is not that. This is what he looks like.
Oh yeah, no, that's your local tweaker. Like, why would you? When you see what Gandalf looks like, then you're like, okay, this starts making a little bit more sense. No wonder he sent three little dudes
Look at
over
the
to my house to get infected.
eyebrows.
Yeah, like he has like long eyebrows that point out of the brim of his hat. Like, huh?
I
But
I
all right,
don't get it.
the copy of the book that we both got, it has art inside of it, and I
Yeah.
really like it. This one of the hill and across the water, Hobbiton, is like, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like I kind of want to frame it, Loki.
I wouldn't mind getting
Like
some Tolkien art.
no, really, like it looks really really nice. Now the art for the fucking trolls
It's
is
completely
haunting.
different. So for background,
Yeah,
the first page that he showed me, it's a brightly colored, almost like lacquered piece of art that's
yeah,
shiny.
it's on a
Yeah.
yeah a different piece of paper.
It's shiny. It basically describes and shows the Shire like as a green rolling pasture. The art for the fucking trolls is a black and white nightmare.
Yeah, like you could see like it shows like the camp, like the campfire that they're in, surrounded by dark forest, and then in the trees you can see the trolls poking out of the tree line, and it's terrifying because you could see their eyes, and it's giving me flashbacks to Valheim with the ways those trolls like
Okay.
show up on. But like,
It
it's just
it is. And like if you were to look at it, you really can't see the trolls unless you look.
right. And
It looks like where the
and the
wild
best
things are.
It does look like where the wild things are. And as much as this is terrifying, I fucking love the art. The art
It's
looks
cool.
great.
I
It
do
looks
have
really, I love the way the smoke looks.
I do have one self gripe. I don't know if
What's
it's
up?
like the book's fault or us, but I feel like I kind of wish there was more art in a weird way. Because
Yeah.
in 40 like 5 pages of a book that's supposed to have art in it, we've gotten 2 pieces of art.
True. Now, I will say there's probably copies out there that have a lot. It's like a lot more art because I've seen they've remade the Harry Potter books. They made a new copy that it has a lot more art in it, like to show like more visualized things, which I really like. So there's probably a version of the Hobbit out there
But
that's
like
like that.
at the same time, now that I think of it, I'm just like, but I kind of don't want the art to like impede on my mental visuals.
Yeah. I that that's kind of like that's kind of what I like about this book is there's not it's not a lot of art, so I'm still visualizing everything. It's like once I start getting into the feel of the book, I
Hmm.
kind of start like playing a little movie in my head, visualizing everything.
I think that's why it takes me so long, is because I do that
It takes
instantly.
right. It's awesome. Like this is the magic of reading.
Jesus Christ.
You're playing the movie in your head. Um and um where was I going with this?
I don't know. It's the magic of reading.
The magic of reading. So like I like that the art kind of gives me something more to go off of to more visualize everything myself.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, how the hell did big ass trolls, which I assume are bigger than a human, are sneaking up on these dwarves?
I assume that trolls are bigger than a human, smaller than a giant.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of like not irks me, but it's just like what the hell? These are supposed to be like battle, not like battle hardened, but like battle ready trolls for an adventure. And not trolls, dwarves. 13 of them got fucking jumped by 3 trolls.
Yeah, and the only one that put up a good fight is the leader Thor.
Like, me,
He beat 2 of them up a little bit.
do we have to give Tolkien credit, because like once again, he's the father of modern fantasy, and when he wrote this, the tropes were not established. So like
Right.
the leader of the group wasn't always the most equipped one, or like stuff like that. But at the same time, if you're already saying that these trolls, these fucking dwarves were ready for an adventure, do you like
Yeah, like
like
it seemed like they didn't have any weapons ready.
they didn't have any weapons ready, and if they even barged into the camp, then yeah, that'd be fine. But explain that. But they viewed the trolls first and then got captured.
Right.
It just confused me a little bit, and I'm just like, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, it was it kind of undermined uh
Their power.
like their power. It kind of gives Thorin a little bit like more
But not by
what was it?
much.
Yeah, it gives Thorin a little bit more credibility because he did put up the most fight. Like he grabbed a branch, burned one of the trolls, like hit him in the eye, I think, and the other one he knocked a tooth out with a branch. But like after that, he still got caught. You know. So like, where were these weapons? Maybe they did mention that like one of the ponies that they had ran off into the water,
But they got it
and
back before it
there's
could drown, right?
no there's supplies that were they got the pony back, but the supplies on the pony got washed away. They said,
That's right.
but they didn't mention what the supplies were. Like if it was just food
I
or if it was
think
like gear.
I think it was I think it was implied that it was food, because they
Yeah,
were like, we don't have anything left for dinner or
right.
breakfast.
And that's why they sent Bilbo out to go check out the fire.
But wait,
So
why did
should have
the pony run in the first place?
it got spooked off by something. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
And then after Gandalf like saved them, like oh yeah, one of my notes was you're a booby. Like one of the 2 trolls are like arguing.
Oh, they
And
kept calling each other boobies.
yeah, and I was like, what kind of insult?
It's-
But
I
said
don't think they
like
came up with the word cuck then.
yeah. It's like I appreciate Gandalf for showing up just in time for shit, but like this wouldn't happen if he didn't dip out in the first place.
Exactly. Gandalf would
You
have been
know?
like, nah, homie, those are trolls.
And then right after that, I go, okay. Apparently, Gandalf was scouting the road ahead and hit up Rivendell, and that's where he learned of the trolls that were giving the dwarves and Bilbo a hard
Oh
time.
yeah, that pissed me off. He was like, I went to Rivendell, and I don't know if this is true, if I remember this incorrectly or not, but they were like, what's Rivendell? What are the elves? And he'll be like, oh, that's where we're going. So why
Yeah,
the
he like
fuck did you go ahead?
yeah, his reasoning was that he was scouting the road ahead to make sure it was safe. He went to Rivendell, and that's where um I don't think they said elves yet, did they?
Isn't Rivendell elves?
I'm not sure, but I know that he got to Rivendell, and the people there told him that like three trolls came down from the mountain and are settling down at some place. So that's when he went back and he took care of them. But
It's
like I get you wanted to scout the road ahead, but like
that was
that
stupid.
was so uncool.
Also, like the reasoning behind it was just really dumb.
Yeah. These hyenas are wolves.
These are wolves. Um,
Yeah, like um oh, and then I was gonna say, like, all right, what do you think dwarves and hobbits taste like? Because like the trolls are gonna eat them.
I don't think
But
they
like,
taste much different than what human would taste like, and I hear that human tastes a lot like pork
yeah,
because they're
that's what
all
you keep telling me.
humanoid. What?
That's what you keep telling me. I know
Well,
that
that's what I
hasn't.
keep hearing. It's not that I've been eating people; it's just what I keep hearing. Not from cannibals. It's just like every account that a cannibal I have. God, this is not making me sound good. I have heard that human tastes
from,
like pork.
from the what was the Papa Meat like video that we watched.
The Papa Meat video, the account from the Andes crash, Dante, fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, last podcast on the left, like
Yeah,
majority of people have said that human tastes most like pork.
I found the orcish key in here.
Oh, you opened it, nice. Grab everything. Um, what was I gonna say? But yeah, I just think any humanoid that's actually human. Also, that's another thing that I'm getting pissed off about by Baldur's Gate is humanoid means like in the shape of a human.
Right.
A bugbear is humanoid.
Yeah, it is. And there's like you'll try to do something to them, but they're like, "Oh, that's not human."
Yeah, like
Yes, it is.
you can't hold person, and I'm like, bitch, it's a humanoid. Like that's
Right.
what it
Like it's
means.
sentient. It's in the shape of it. Like the bugbear is just the original art for Chewbacca.
It's
It's
so
humanoid.
it's
Chewbacca's
so
humanoid.
annoying. Um, such a weird divergent, but is there anything that you have left for chapter 2?
I got one more
Shoot.
thing, and it's phrased as a question. So you remember how we were watching Lord of the Rings? One of our discrepancies was like, or one of
It moved too fast.
ooh, I'm getting done, dude. Hold up. One of the things we had like kind of an issue with was that they like they introduced like Gandalf and Saruman as wizards, but they don't actually like say any spells or
That's
incantations.
right. They don't show magic.
Yeah, but like other than the Force, I guess we would count it because Count Dooku was throwing like Ian McKellen around like crazy. But in the book, they mentioned like what they found some gold in the troll cave, and they like buried it somewhere on the trail, and they said they put some spells on it on top of it.
Yeah.
And when they were trying to get through when they were trying to get into the trolls hideout, before Bilbo like decided to show the key off, like after everybody tried everything, um, like they said that Gandalf tried some incantations on the door. So are there like actual spells and incantations in this that they did not bring into the actual movie?
And I
Because like honestly, that'd be kind of annoying.
and I think
Like,
that's one thing that we
right?
can do for the next for like the movie part of the book and movie club for Barely Literate is like talk about like the differences and the sort of gripes we have with the movie. It's just
Right.
why have a wizard in Lord of the Rings a movie and just like have him barely do anything? Because
Yeah, like
besides Bilbo, Gandalf is like the what is it? The deuter antagonist or deuter protagonist of the story.
what's that mean?
I think it's like the most secondary character.
Okay.
Um, he's like he's this basically this secondary character of the story that everybody knows. So like, why not have anything that he does?
Yeah. No, I definitely remember us like we were talking about this after watching the movies. We're like, they didn't say a single damn spell in
Or
this entire thing.
show us. So like, he does the flashbang. I remember that before he falls to the depths of Moria. He does the Force with Saruman, but like in production standards, that's just wiring. Like
Right.
they're just wiring them up and throwing them around. You've
And
all
then
go for it.
I've also been playing Shadow of War lately. That's another, like Middle Earth um
Game. It's like
uh,
setting.
you know, yeah, and in that one it shows magic too because you're playing as a ranger and he's linked with an elven wraith and the wraith gives him like magic powers. Like he can go up to um he has the power to look into a palantir, which is like the crystal ball
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
can
That
travel over.
fucking Mary, not Mary, that Pippin fucks up again, remember?
Yeah, and so he said he had the power to look into it without dying. He had the
Without dying.
power to like yeah, he had the power to like cleanse like areas that the Dark Lord uh Saruman or
So
Saruman's the
Saruman is
Sauron.
Gandalf's mentor.
So
Sauron
Sauron the Dark Lord.
is the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah, so so um like Sauron has like different like they're just the watchtowers and I go up there and I cleanse it and I turn it from the Dark Lord's energy to the Bright Lord's energy, which it's just the Wraith is I'm connected to. That's all
Okay.
magic. Like I'm doing magic in the game. I'm seeing magic in the book. Barely any magic in the movie. You know,
It really is,
it's a missed opportunity.
and I want to know like why they chose not to show magic in the movie because
Right.
budget wise that could be the answer, but I feel like you have to allocate budget to that.
Yeah. I think we'll see if we end up reading the Lord of the Rings books, if they do anything with the magic in there. And if they do, then we can leave a mean like IMDb review on the Rings
Just be like, yo, Peter Jackson, I'm tearing your ass down.
movie. Like no magic at all. Kidding me?
And that's probably like the part of the movies, other than the fact that the movies moved. I wouldn't say moved so fast because there's three movies and they're both 3 hours long. I would say
Right.
they introduced things so quickly and then didn't do anything with it.
Right. They kind of like grazed over it.
Yeah, so I think that and the no magic is probably the biggest part of the movies where we were just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Other than that, does that wrap it up for chapter 2?
Yeah, that was my last note.
Damn.
Not I would a lot happened in chapter 1. Not chapter 2 is a little bit less uh uh eventful. It was just like, they started their journey and then they got caught up with some troll.
Yeah, like nothing happened and then one thing happened.
Yeah, and then they like you know, they raid the trolls cave and they found some weapons in there, which is like that's one of the gripes we had is like, why didn't they have weapons to begin with? Like,
Oh yeah, and it said that
you know,
it said Gandalf and Thorin took their weapons for themselves. I'm just like, you guys were going on a journey without any way to defend yourself. Also, why does
right?
Gandalf need a fucking weapon?
Like look at Gimli. Like we were trying to track how many axes that dude had on him.
Yeah, that's right. We had to look up halfway through Fellowship of the Ring.
No, not
How?
even Fellowship. I think it was. I think we got into Two Towers, and we were just like, how many axes does this little dude have on
Because
him?
he's throwing them, he's using them, they look
He
different,
broke one.
and we were like, are these just mess ups? Like when Anakin and Obi-Wan are having their last duel on Mustafar, and you see
Right.
in a clip where Obi-Wan is accidentally holding Anakin's lightsaber, you're just like, oh, okay, that's a movie mess up.
Right.
But you can't have a movie mess up 8 fucking times in a scene. So we looked it up, and Gimli just has 7 axes on him, just
Yeah.
all the time.
We spotted a few on his body, on his person.
Yeah, we had to pause it and analyze him. And we were like, "Oh, that's that one. That's that one." Because what we did is we pulled up on Google Gimli's like a chart of Gimli's axes, and we are like, "Oh, he has that one. He has that one. He has that. I see that one. Oh, that's the one that he broke." It was
Don't forget
crazy.
your food, by the way.
I forgot. Oh man, we have to decide next time if we're even gonna boot up Moria.
Yeah, I'm like,
We didn't
maybe
do
we just
shit.
open up Minecraft and we just start doing the parkour maps on Minecraft.
Yeah, just like have the video below us.
It's like one of those like phone calls where you kind of walk around, you start pacing your room because you're just yapping.
Yeah, and you start like twiddling with like the bread bag and stuff like that. Start
So yeah,
folding your socks.
maybe next time when we our next episode we'll do Minecraft and just like hop on one of those parkour maps
Yeah,
and
just
just start bouncing.
mine, just like mine for like an hour.
Yeah,
Because like when you mine in Moria, you kind of just the mining is a mission, but in Minecraft it's just you just mine.
yeah. In Minecraft you're just digging, but like here
Um,
we have stuff we're trying to do too.
well, then damn, I think that brings it. You know, we're wrapping up chapter 2 and we're wrapping up the first stream episode of Barely Literate. Um, we'll we'll do some calls to action, basically like, hey guys, thanks again, this was cool. Next
Right.
week we're gonna
We'll go.
do chapters 3 and 4,
Yep.
and that'll be once again Monday 9 o'clock EST, PM, not AM, fuck that. Yeah, make sure to follow our IG. That's Barely Literate BMC, because we're gonna be updating on that. If you
And
Yeah, go for it.
this is just a preface. Uh, this is not just a book club; it's a movie club too. We're gonna be going. We're gonna. Are we gonna watch movies together, or are we gonna watch movies on our own time?
We still have to figure that out. We are gonna watch the same movie. We don't know if we're gonna watch it together or not. We could try doing that, because I know that Netflix party is something that we used to do.
Yeah.
But I was gonna bring this up to you. And I was like, oh, what if we did like monthly movie picks, and then like 1 month is Nick. Like January, you should pick a movie for January, and we'll make a post about that and say Nick's monthly pick for a movie is this movie, and then February would be me, and then back and forth, back and forth.
Could we show clips of the movie on stream?
I do not know.
It's like technically, if we have our cameras on, it could count as reactions. But I don't know. We can figure that out.
Yeah. So that pretty much wraps up the first episode. Once again, we also encourage, like, if you guys want to read along with us, like each week we're gonna do like 2 chapters a week.
And
But
if you spoiled if you spoiled for us, if you're like, say like next week we're going over chapter 3 and 4, if you mention anything from chapter 6, I will find you.
oh,
All right, and I will drag your ass back down to Moria with us.
we are going to the depths of Moria and dragging you back.
are 220 fathoms
I
deep.
was just about to mention that. Yo,
You noticed it too?
fun trivia before we close this out. Do you know how much a fathom actually is?
I don't.
Take a guess.
I'm gonna say half a mile.
It's 6 feet.
It's 6 feet?
It's 6 feet, my guy.
No, why would that's okay.
A fathom is, look it up. A fathom is 6 feet.
220 divided by 6 then.
No, times 6.
Would it be times 6?
Are you trying to figure out how many feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, times 6. That would be 66 times 2.
Huh?
No, 220 times 6. Go for it.
Yeah, 220 times 6 is 1320
1,300 feet.
deep.
Jesus Christ. How many feet are in a mile?
Let me look that up real quick. We're done talking about the book now, so we're just gonna start like hyperfixating.
Jesus. Okay, once we figure out a mile, then we're gonna end the stream episode.
Okay. 5,280 feet in a mile.
So we're a fifth of a mile underground right now.
That doesn't seem that.
No, that doesn't seem that bad at all. That's like
we put it like those.
Yeah, like what the? I thought we were like 2 miles underground. Like, oh, okay. Anywho,
Like yeah, okay.
Okay, so no, you can say it. You can say it.
I was like, this is like 220 fathoms deep. That seems like crazy, but then you're like, oh, we're like not even a mile.
Yeah, let me go walk to the fucking Burger King. Like that's a fifth of a mile. I feel like.
Right.
Anywho, everything we just said. Thank you guys for watching. This was a great first time.
I think it went really well.
Yeah, it did, and I cannot preface this enough. We have never done anything like this before.
No, like I gotta reiterate. I lately, since I would say in the past 2 years, I've only done audiobooks. I've tried reading 2 other books, hard copy. One was a Dungeons and Dragons book that I found that I thought was really cool, and another one was I would say it's like a horror book, and I was gonna read that with my ex at the time, and we couldn't even get past the first chapter, like reading it together.
Why? Because it was scary?
Not that it was scary. It was just like the first chapter was very long.
Yeah, it's
hard to get into it.
It's a lot. So we're gonna see how this goes. We'll be posting a lot. What's up?
I'm really liking the book so far. I think you're liking it too.
Yeah.
But and it's fun just to read a book for the try something new with your best friend. Usually we play games, we watch movies. Lately we've been getting really into visiting each other.
Yeah.
A few miles, 2 states away.
We gotta figure that out because you mentioned next month, and I'm like, that's soon.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, so we'll have to figure that out. Remember, we're gonna watch all the fucking Hobbits when you come down.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Should we?
Oh shit, we gotta finish the book.
We gotta finish the book, and then should we watch the animated one or the live action one?
Oh, I want to watch the live action.
I want. I told you this before. I want to watch the animated one stoned.
I know you do, and I'm like, I wish I could with you, but I can't, and I want to experience that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Thank you, everybody. It's been wonderful. Check me out at Jericho on everything: Twitch, IG, YouTube. Check out Nick as Gooberino16 on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube. And then Barely Literate Book Club, Barely Literate Book and Movie Club, which is Barely Literate BMC on Instagram.
Yeah, my dad's in the camera right now.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. I think this was great. Nick, say your prayers, baby.
All right. Thanks everybody. Stop by. And to Erebor. Let's go.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.